Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to react to a video over here where actually Mbeki Ngcukaitobi advocate was talking, answering questions about the land, and then the title actually it says ANC Broken Promises. All right, please, ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do while you are watching, hit the like button. And you can share the video if you want somebody to see the video. And if you like this guy that you see on the screen, this one, all right, you can subscribe to the channel and let's grow the channel. Take me to 5,000 subscribers. That will be so nice. And like the video, push it to 1,000 likes. That will be great. Eh? One day is one day. One day is one day. I'll be doing some giveaways here. Don't want to be left behind, right? I'm just saying. All right, guys, let's get into the video and let's take a listen to Ngcukaitobi.
And written 250 pages on it, given to the government. The government did nothing about it. And they get surprised when they get 40%.
So, like here, he's talking about the land. So they asked him about the land. What can you say about the land? So he says, "I've written 200 and what pages about the land." And then I tried to give it to the government, but they rejected it. Okay. Then he says that's why they got below 40 whatever percent, as we now know. All right, guys.
Then they wonder why, But there it is. You promise people land, you never gave it to them. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, no. I apologize. No, I was criticizing the ANC government again. So, no, I think on land, what the ANC did is totally inexcusable. It's really, really inexcusable. In the CODESA and Constitutional Assembly, they faced a formidable opponent in the National Party. Sheila Kamara was the spokesperson on property. Very, very, very formidable, right? On three issues. One, do we need a property clause? Number two, do we need a right of restitution, right of return? Number three, do we need the power of expropriation? The ANC won all of them. Like they won each and every one of those arguments. They got it in. There is no right to property. There is a right of the state to expropriate. There is a right of return. They are all in the Constitution. Very few.
Oh, so they won all those arguments. That means they could have actually put it into practice, which is to expropriate, which is to what the lease on whatever that is talking about. They could have done it. They had an opportunity. You see, that is the problem with this, with the government sometimes, or I can even say with the ANC, that they had opportunities which they could have used. I don't know who told them that if they do anything that is going to satisfy the majority and then it's going to be bad. I don't know. It seems like it's a track record to them that every time they get an opportunity to change the lives of people, they backtrack. They talk nice to you in front of people, and then when they get whatever they should be getting to actually action, that is whatever that is going to benefit the people, they backtrack. I don't know why, but anyway, what can you say? They had an opportunity to change this thing of land, to make sure that the land is actually back to people. All right. Even though, guys, it will be back the fact is they had that opportunity. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm asking myself, what is wrong with you guys?
Countries have constitutionalized property transformation to that extent. Very few, you see, because everyone is so touched when it comes to property. Property is almost perceived as an extension of yourself, perceived in the same category as a freedom of speech, but it is not, because property is an external thing to a human, but it's a human right, So now, after they won this discussion, they won everything. And they signed the Constitution in 1996, signed it, 31st of May, 1996, they signed it.
Yeah.
The following year, in 1997, they adopted a white paper on land. What did it do? The first thing it did was that land would be acquired on a willing seller, willing buyer basis as a government policy, which was a complete betrayal of what they had just achieved a year earlier. The consequence has been that since 1997, since the white paper, the policy of the state has been to acquire land for all purposes on market-related standards. Sometimes, and I've spoken to the Department of Housing, how do you acquire land if you want to build a township? They pay on what they call the best possible use, best and highest possible use of the land, which is more than the market value. It's more than the market value. You know, this is why when I asked the minister, the former minister of land affairs at Gibbs, I think in 2017, I asked, how much has your government paid for land reform since you became the government in 1994? How much have you paid? So 60 billion. So I asked, where's the money gone? You see, where's the money gone? And then he says, well, the majority of it has gone to white farmers, white landowners. I said, but don't you think this is a scandal that you got upset and then, you know, became personal and the conversation ended? It was, no, it was not Togo Didis. Togo Didis has probably been one of the better ministers. No. It was Mashabane. Yes. Mashabane. Yes, she was the minister. So, and the conversation ended there. So, where you've got the law on your side, the right to expropriate, it's there, it's written in black and white, and you've got the right of return, it's also there, it's black and white, and you have no right to property. Why have they not done anything about land? Like, what's the reason? You know? Now, the same thing in 2018, they had these discussions, went around the country. They were asking people, do you want land? So this was a referendum. They asked black people, do you want land? What did they think the answer was going to be? I mean, and this thing went on for 8 months. For 8 months. Today they're in Limpopo, tomorrow they're in Mpumalanga, the other day they're in the Eastern Cape, and then a lot of people go into this meeting. So what is the question on the referendum? Do you want land? I mean, so something else has been going on in the government, which it's impossible for me to understand. But it's got nothing to do with the law. It's got nothing to do with the policy. And by the way, I'm glad you've raised this question. The person who spoke the most about being committed to transformation was Jacob Zuma. But when you actually look at budgetary allocations for land, there was a decline in the budget allocated for land during his presidency. That decline has continued under Ramaphosa's government. And the area where there was the greatest redistribution of land was Mandela and Thabo Mbeki. In fact, even in Thabo Mbeki, it was in the first 5 years of his government, where you see a real increase in the redistribution of land and a real increase in the budget. Thereafter, they took their eyes off the ball. They just did nothing about it. So I was at the last ANC conference in Nasrec, and I went specifically to the Commission on Economic Transformation, because that's where I saw that the land issue was going to be discussed. I went to that commission. I just wanted to listen. Like, why are we doing nothing about it? And I was just shocked at the nonsense that was espoused, because it was a repetition of what landowners want. So what I found is that the land policy, the actual land policy, is driven by white property interests.
So I think when it comes to the land issue, I don't know whether this thing, it will be fast tracked. That means it's going to be so fast to such an extent that we are happy. I don't think so. And the issue here, guys, it's what Ngcukaitobi actually is talking about. He's talking about, you guys, you had a chance, or you had an opportunity, to make this thing happen quicker and also early as you get hold of the opportunity. Okay, that means by now, after 30 years, like, a lot of land would have been, given or expropriated, if they took action at that time, and if they decided to say, you know what, we are doing this thing, and then take action, especially when they had a chance. That's the issue. You've got a chance, but you didn't do anything about it. And he actually you makes a very important point that during, I think it's Mandela, okay, Mandela and Thabo Mbeki, okay, Thabo Mbeki more, there was an increase when it comes to the land and everything. Then when Zuma came in, and also Ramaphosa, whatever, and then it reduced, okay. And you are asking yourself why, you know. Guys, land is something that's very important, but you must also understand that one of the things he actually said on his address at the time when he was doing the lecture, it was the fact that he was reading on a charter, right, where it says uh, the people of South Africa, they will need to be taught how to work the land. That is the first thing, so that when they get the land, at least they know what to do with the land. Okay, that is very important also, you know. But it's not happening, you know. We always talk about getting the land, I think also the EFF, they spoke about this thing. But they spoke about it. I think there's a clip where Malima says,
I agree with the last part. Ours is in a farm, and agriculture will be part of what we're teaching our kids, because our first non-negotiable cardinal pillar is the land. So you can't, when you are fighting for land, not teach people how to use land in a beneficial way. So we've taken the school to the farm, and we will make sure that agriculture is part of that.
We will actually teach people how to work the land, and then so that when they actually get the land, they can work the land, so that we don't give land to people and then they sell it back to where we took it, you know, because we can find ourselves in that situation. You get the land, you don't know what to do with it, and then somebody comes and then you give it back to where it was or the where it was taken from. Guys, you can comment and tell me what do you think. You can go and watch the whole actually video. The channel is News Live Essay. Okay, you can go and watch the video there, so that you can get the whole talk, and then you can make your mind or think or go whatever you want to do with it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. You have a good day. Sharp.